morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I cannot believe we are already on day 3 of our Health Habits and Healing Challenge. I'm excited to be here, and I'm super excited for all of you that are taking part. And it's been really fun to watch in our page. I don't know if any of you have been watching in the page or been taking part in the page that are on so far. But if you haven't been, go back and look at what's happening. And I want to shout out to those of you this morning, just right out the gate. I want to shout out to those of you that are participating and those of you that are showing up for yourselves. Congratulations. I'm seeing Fawn, I saw Trina, I saw Donna, I saw Julie, doing some posts in the group, and taking part in showing up for yourself. So just big kudos to those of you that are continuing to show up for yourself and that are in this space of knowing that, as we commit to something and as we follow through, that we know that people around us will see when we're showing up. And but a lot of times we don't celebrate ourselves. We've been in this place of not showing up for ourselves, and afraid to, almost in that space of afraid to celebrate, afraid to when we're taking care of ourselves, there's a lot of guilt and obligation and different things like that. And I just want to say kudos. I want to say congratulations. And I want to spend some time on that as we open up this morning, and just kind of wait to see how many people join today and in the live. And just, how are you feeling on day 3? So put in the comments below if you're here and, you have been showing up for yourself and you're feeling good about that. And like, what's your biggest win so far? I'd love to hear in the comments below. So I'm waiting for, oh, yep, live. Okay. And good morning, Taffy. Good morning, Terry. Yes. Hi, Donna. Super awesome to see you guys. Okay, so go ahead and share in the comments below. Good morning, Denise. Those of you that are on, what is your biggest celebration? Is it just showing up for yourself? Is it actually following through and doing what you said you were going to do? Because if there's anything else through this week, I don't care if you take anything else from this week. If it's just that you matter and that, it takes a habit to change things, and it's starting with one habit at a time, keeping it simple, following through and really just showing up. Because back to day 1, it's not about motivation or discipline. It truly is about just showing up for yourself. And there's no right or wrong, there's no good or bad in that. It just is. And so each of us have our own things that we're working on. And I just want to congratulate you. So I can tell those that are here that you are moving forward, and you will move forward when you continue to show up for yourself. So just checking to see who else is here. Oh, good morning, Trina. Good morning, Terry. No candy, cookies, sweets. Good morning, Fawn. Consistency for the win. Yes. Taffy is concentrating on hydration and showing up every morning. Yep. Congratulations. And following through from Trina. So those are some great things. Congratulations. And if I missed you and you're on, I just want to say congratulations to you. So huge celebration today for those of us. Denise, my biggest win is taking more time for myself. Yes, and I saw that in the page yesterday that that was one of the things that you were working for. So congratulations. So as we step into today is day 3. In my health program when I was coaching, day 3 was the toughest day. Because when you start something, you start things, you're like, yeah, you're super excited. But by day 3, sometimes life has happened. Put has happened in the comments below if you had some life happened. Because sometimes, especially when we're trying to do something good, life will throw us a curveball. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that this morning, and how when life happens, it's almost a place of, we talked about a limiting belief yesterday, but sometimes we did a interview last month with Rhonda, and she talked a lot about addiction. So I'm going to kind of refer to that a little bit this morning. And it's one of the things that she said was that was so profound was, and for her, she was an alcoholic, and it was like what keeps her from drinking was every time she goes to pop the top, she asks herself, "What am I giving up? What am I giving up by doing this today?" And so, one of the things that I want to talk to us about a little bit is what are you giving up when you decide to not follow through, or you decide to eat the chocolate cake, or you decide to get on QVC or do spending that you really shouldn't do, or maybe what are you giving up when you sit in front of the TV all day, or what are you giving up when you're angry all the time, and maybe that's your problem. What are you giving up when your behaviors, when life takes over and you give in to those things that happen to you, and so then you go back to something that's self-numbing that doesn't necessarily serve you. And maybe the self-numbing is just laying on the couch and pulling the covers over your head. And yes, life is always happening. Yep. Taffy, life is happening. Denise, life has happened. Yep. So, what is it that you give up every time that you allow yourself to go back into those places? And I'll just tell you a little bit about me this morning because that was the thing. When I started my journey 7 years ago, I started my journey when I was born, right? We've all been on a journey of life. But the big thing about my journey, when I started on this particular with health habits and healing, but was, it was survival. And that was my self-numbing behavior. And whenever life would happen, I would return to survival because I didn't have to deal with what was in front of me. I could deal, it was like, well, I'm so busy. Life is happening. People have been nasty to me. All these things were happening around me. So I would just live in survival, and it was like, well, because I'm too busy, I'm just going to grab, this to eat, or I'm so busy and life has been so stressful. I just need that glass of wine tonight along with the potato chips. I just need to sit and zone out in front of the TV. That's survival. So what was I giving up? I was giving up being my best self because every time I chose that, every time, I would drink the box of wine, every time I'd eat the bag of chips, what what was I was giving up was my health. I was giving up my future that was calling me. I was giving up time with my children because tomorrow morning I was going to feel like crap. I was giving up, showing up well in the world and being a positive influence to others because I was choosing to self numb. Does this resonate with you? Put resonates if this resonates with you. And oh my God, are you calling me out, Taffy? Yes. I'm calling myself out because self numbing behavior is an addiction. And whether you think it is or not, it's easy to point your finger at people that drink alcohol. It's easy to point your finger at people that are on drugs. It's easy to point our finger at people that are angry. But guess what? What we do in the dark describes who we really are. So are you that person that's finding yourself in the pantry all the time and, self-numbing with food? Are you finding yourself zoning out in front of the TV? Are you finding yourself scrolling on Facebook? Are you finding yourself staying in overwhelm because then you don't have to deal with how you actually feel and the emotions that are overtaking you and the life that you really don't want, but you're afraid to confront the reality of who you actually are and what you've allowed to come into your world. And so you self numb. Is that you? And, one of the things that I have told myself recently is I will speak truth. And so if you can't handle truth, this group is not for you. I'm not for you. But here's the bottom line. When you wake up at the end of the day and you wake up at the end of your life, what you can say is, you know what, every time I made that choice or those choices, what was I giving up? And my encouragement to us today. And that might be a little deep, a little dark, a little bit, calling you out. But what I want to say, good morning, Julie, um, is what I want to say to you is this: you don't have to choose that. Your awareness is the start, okay? And that was for me. It was just an awareness of, guess what, Tereesa? You don't have to live like that. And it started with my health. And that's why I do these challenges, health, habits, and healing, because I know what are the one thing that you have control of. We have control of what we put in our mouth, what we drink. We have control of those things. And if we start in one area, what we do in one area carries over into every other area of our life. And so maybe that's it for you. Some of you are just walking. Some of you just putting better nutrition in your body. These are good things. You're not trying to bite off the whole elephant, but you're just choosing you. You're just choosing the one thing that you know that you can show up for, because you know if you show up for one thing, you're going to show up for everything else. So I just want to encourage you today, if you choose to go back, what are you giving up? And I want you to have this in your mind. And there's going to be some prompts today for journaling that I would love for you to read and know. And so put in the comments below if any of this made sense to you, if any of this spoke to you, and is any of us that was this hard? Put hard in the comments. Hard to hear. So because I know for me, um, it was easy for me to hide. It was easy for me to, on the outside, everybody looked at me and said, "You look great. You're fine. I'm fine." But what was happening on the inside is I was really, really broken, and I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And I was sick and tired of everybody, putting on the facade that I was fine, when inside I was self numbing with all of these behaviors. And I kept choosing these behaviors over and over and over again. But it was by choosing accountability. It was by choosing to be in a community that lifted me up. It was by choosing myself that I have gotten where I am today. And yes, it's hard. Thank you. Yes. And I just want you to know, when the first step too is sharing. I know it's hard. It's hard to unlayer the garbage that's in there that holds you back. It's hard to say, I did it again. It's hard to say, I'm I'm embarrassed that I do this. It's hard to say those things because you know what? People are judgmental. But what I'm going to tell to you today is that this is safe. This group is safe. I am safe because guess what? I have walked in maybe not the exact shoes, but a lot of the similar shoes. And I promise you, there is no judgment here. None. And you will only be greeted with love. And if you're in a space of you really want to move forward, here's what I'd encourage you to do: really dive into this group this week. Take out of it what you can and let go of those self limiting beliefs and those addictive, self numbing behaviors of, putting your head in the sand, because that is not serving you. So put not serving me, and I'm going to move forward. And I now recognize and I now see some of those behaviors from my past experiences. So this morning, just encourage you to take part in the journaling. Know that the VIP is still there. Taffy will put the membership there. That's an opportunity for you to really stay connected into this community, to really move forward through some of these things that have been hard for you to work through. And just that we'll be meeting once a month. You're going to get lots of encouragement through that group. We do have a retreat coming up in June, and we have another 8-week series coming up. So just, I just want to let you know there's more out there for you if this is resonating with you. But the bottom line is today is today. Be where you are today. And we really, really love you. And let's let go of those limiting beliefs, the addictive behaviors, and all those things that are holding us back. And tomorrow I will be celebrating those that have been on again. So congratulations for all of you that are on this morning, all of you taking part in the page, because that is showing that you matter and you do, and you are worth the work. God bless you. I love you, and have a great, great Wednesday.